a dime.
Hudson pulls up, and there it is.
Atlanta ready to seal the deal.
Great barrier thief. On Trey, what a move.
Will fire one up at the buzzer.
Behind the back.
Wilkins, look out.
Wow.
Welcome back to another edition of Birds and Buckets. I'm Rashad Milligan, the first of the new calendar year, and I'm here joined as always by my co-host Malik Brown. Malik, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, bro. Happy New Year, man. We back.
Happy New Year, bro. Hey, man, New Year, same hustle, man. That's what I say. ain't nothing changed but the number on the year, man. The last year of the year. But bro, man, like people. They still trying to get Trae Young out of here, man.
Bro, it's so funny. I was listening, like the intro, like the end of the intro. I was like, we might have to switch that up, bro.
Oh no, man.
We might have to switch it up.
Oh man, not even dog. It's still Trae popping, but the Atlanta Birds take a bath, man, for feature, bro. Like it's gotta be, bro. I don't know, man. Like I feel like. It's like the people who really watch the Hawks, a lot of the people online and stuff like that, they're saying one thing, and the national people are saying another thing because they don't pay attention as close every day. But I think everybody that follows the Hawks, or majority of the people that follow the Hawks, see that it's not Trae's problem.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, my thing was when Trae came back, the biggest thing that the Hawks were still dealing with. Which they've kind of dealt with all season, but especially when Trae came back, was defense and size. That's why I even felt like they were going for Anthony Davis, is because they needed defense and size. And I'm like, well, the solution to that is literally Kristaps Porzingis, but he's never available. And then you see Porzingis returns yesterday. He has a good game once again, per usual, and the Hawks blow out Minnesota. Like it wasn't even close the whole time. I guess just what do you have to say is like what was the problem with the Hawks? What was it, 6-7 game losing streak?
Seven. Yeah, I mean it was defense, I think, at the end of the day, and everybody wants to say that it was Trae's fault, Trae this, Trae that. Like he came back at the moment where it was bad for them. So, of course, they're going to put it on him because he's been like the guy for years that always gets the blame for whatever, like a win or a loss or whatever. So, he comes back. They're still getting 125 plus put on their head every game. And the offense was never the issue. I want to say that. The offense, whether Trae or not was on the floor, the offense was never the issue. They were putting up points as well. They just couldn't get any stops. They have not been a good rebounding team this season. And teams have just been living in the paint. So, and I mean, it makes sense. Like, Onyeka is 6'10". And granted, Onyeka's good.
Oh, we doing that Hawks Twitter favorites conversation.
He's not a center. I mean, he's a center, but like, at the end of the day, Quinn even says it. He says it all the time. We're undersized. Onyeka, and he mentions Onyeka. Like, he gets it too. But you can see the difference when you actually have a real 7-footer on the floor, and he can, like, not just block shots, but he can change the course of shots in the paint and stuff like that. So, I think I wouldn't say that was a big difference on why they won yesterday, but it was one of the factors. And I just think Minnesota just really, they looked flat from the beginning. Like they kind of didn't even look like they wanted to be in Atlanta on New Year's Eve. But the main thing has been defense. Like I think it's been that easy. But at the same time, as much as it's been defense, Trey has been the problem on defense too. Like, I can't sit here and not say that his effort. Like, I'm watching the games and I don't see much effort. Like, the Knicks game is that one play everybody keeps talking about. I don't really agree with what the Knicks analyst or play-by-play guy said about him, but I mean, you fall to the ground and then you kind of just sit there and kind of jog back to try to defend the shot, and it's too late. Like, those type of things, you gotta have some type of effort. You gotta show me at least that you want to play defense. And I know that he's the smallest person on the floor and everything like that, but you, at this point, you gotta show me that you want it. At the end of the day, you gotta show me that you want it. And I'm not saying that he don't want it, but I just, the effort, you can just see there's not really much effort on that side of the ball for him. And I don't know if it's him still trying to get back from injury and everything like that, but it's pretty obvious when he's on the floor, like, they have to compensate for him in certain situations.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny because I watched like this Luca thing right before I went to sleep last night. He did a best of a video montage of 2025, and obviously, you know, it was like a lot of clips of people talking about the trade and stuff. And then it was real nicely put together. Shout out Lucas' team for putting it together. It's 10 minutes. Watch it if you haven't. But the first comment, the top comment in the section was, "I would love to see you try to move your feet on defense." And it's a montage, literally looking like it's way worse than Trey's, bro. And like Luca's just standing there, bro. Like, it's really, really bad. And like this whole thing of superstars putting up crazy numbers that we've never seen before offensively, with amazing offensive highlights with no type of effort defensively. You know, we talked about like it kind of rubbing off on Jalen a lot this season, where he's putting up crazy numbers, but no type of defense. Look, here it is. Hold on. Here's the Luca thing. And see you in 2028. Let me see if it Jalen Brunson thing. All right, hold on. Yeah. Here's another one. Your New Year's resolution should be how to play defense, move your feet on defense. I don't know if it's gonna load up, but like if I could show 5 seconds of this is like crazy, bro. I'm gonna load up. Let's see. Is it gonna load up? I guess it's just not gonna load up, but it's really bad. Like he's not moving at all. And so this whole thing with this new generation will put up 30, 10, and 10 and get all the praise, but not look at this. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, bro. Look at this, bro. Look at this, bro.
It's terrible.
Come on, bro.
Terrible.
So so like this whole new thing, new generation doing that, I got to stop it, because it's like I'm looking at the same team. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, is giving the most effort defensively, and he's still the team's leading scorer. How is that possible? Like, because I was really convinced. I was like, okay, like maybe he needs to save energy to do everything that he does offensively. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, if we pull up the stats, no, it's not like what Trey does, where Trey's like an entire offense and everybody's focused on him. He's only averaging 3 assists a game, but he's still averaging over 20 points a game. Like, he has enough energy to find his spots on the floor, put up shots, and score enough to score 20 points a game. I don't get it at all. Hold on. Let me see how much Jalen's averaging before I just call him the team's leading scorer. No, Jalen's averaging 24. So Jalen's the leading scorer. But you know, the point stands. Like Dyson averaged, how much Dyson averaged last year? Like 17, 18 maybe?
Yeah, somewhere maybe even. Dyson last year maybe like 14, something like maybe around there. I don't know.
He averaged like 17, 18, something like that last year. Let me see. Last year, Dyson Daniels he averaged 14 points. But you know, it was a long time where he was averaging about 17, 18, that range, and he's given the most effort defensively. I just do not understand if this dude can do it as the dude who gives the most effort defensively on the team, why can't you at least give a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, we not
Right.
asking you to be dang Davion Mitchell, but
Right.
like just try it. But that's not even to Trey, that's to Jalen, that's to Luca, that's to all of these guys around the league who just stand around on defense, blame the other teammate and get the ball and then do something amazing offensively. Like that's just not like Anthony Edwards. I mean, Anthony Edwards is different because he's built different. Um, so I mean, you know, like Ant's like 6'8" and built and everything like that, like a shooting guard. So it's different with him. So he has the conditioning to play both ways. But you know, for the smaller guys, you know, if Chris Paul did it, then you can do it. You know, and I know Steph was someone who was hidden in the corner defensively. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. So it's a bit different. But yeah, man, it's just crazy. Hold on. Go ahead, Malik.
I just think also it's just like it's a different game now. Like you back then, you could hide a Steph, you could hide a Isaiah Thomas in the corner or something like that. But everybody now on the floor is like 6'7", 6'8", like 6'6". Like all these guys are like tall and lengthy and they can shoot over you, they could back you down. Like these players are being used in these actions, so you can't really just hide anybody now. So when you look at the footage when Trey against the Knicks, they were putting him in action almost every time down the stretch. They was trying to get the switch every time. And crazy, Jalen and Trey are dang near the same height. I mean, Jalen is of course a little bit bigger, but you would think that Trey could at least hold his own, but they're still sending doubles to Jalen. And I'm watching the entire time down the stretch. I'm like, y'all don't have to send a double every time because when you send a double, somebody's open and they usually knock down the shot. I'm like, Trey can't hold his own for like 15 seconds. Like, I'm sure he can do that. Like, y'all don't have to.
I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it from
yeah,
Trey.
yeah, right. Like he's had moments, and I don't want to sound like I'm not trying to pick on him or nothing. Like we've already talked. Jalen has kind of taken a steep down on defense as well. So it's not just him. Like it's certain players on the team that have not just lived up to or are not just doing what they need to do in order for the team to win. Like it's at the end of the day, it's a total team effort. Like we get it. Dyson Daniels is one of the better perimeter defenders in the league. We get it. Nikhil can defend. Like Mo is a good defender. I mean, Mo barely plays though, but like this is not a one-on-one type thing anymore. Like it takes a whole team effort. So when you let your defender blow by you, somebody else has to go help you, which means somebody's going to be open, and then you rotate, and somebody's going to be open at the end of the day. That's really what it comes down to. So that's really what it is. I'm not trying to pick on him or nothing. I know he's shown that he could play or not play or just have effort or just try. He's shown it before. So I think he can, if he can get back to that. Like I said, I don't know if it's still his injury or whatever, still kind of harping at him or whatnot, but he can try. That's it.
The Saquad, he tore his MCL, right?
He sprained his MCL, but it's still the same leg.
Oh, it's the same leg. Okay,
So I'm pretty sure.
So it's probably like a lingering effect. Okay.
He played. So I'm assuming the reason he didn't play that well against the Knicks was because it was bothering him because he was on the injury report for the quad contusion that game, but he still ended up playing. But he shot like 2 for 9, 0 for 4 from 3. Like he had 9 points and 10 assists. He just didn't look like the player he was the past 4 games where he was dropping 30 and 25 and everything like that. So I can get that.
Well, what did you think? What did you think about the last play of the Knicks game? One of the last plays offensively where Jalen brought the ball up, Trey ran up to him, got the ball, and then Trey tried to make get Jalen the ball back, but it couldn't happen.
I think they've said that they're still trying to figure out who needs to take over or who needs to have the ball in their hands at the end of the games. And it's kind of been evident because they've been in, even though they've been on this, they were on that losing streak, they were still in close games in most of them, but they just were not able to execute down the stretch. I think it was either the first Chicago game or the second Chicago game. I'm assuming it was the first one though. It was pretty much seamless between Trey and Jalen down the stretch. Like they kind of knew where to give each other the ball in their spots. Like Jalen got off, Trey got off. They just couldn't get a stop. And then kind of like the couple of games after that, it was kind of shaky. So Trey said that at the end of the day, it comes down to reps. I understand. I get that too. Trey has only played like 8 or so games so far. And Jalen has been the closer. Jalen and Nikhil have been the closer for the Hawks for the month of November and at the beginning of December. It was those two closing the games out. And it looked like they were doing well with that. So now you're bringing in a guy who basically all his career has been known as the closer. So, of course, he's going to want the ball, but at the same time, you still cannot deny what Jalen has been doing. You also can't deny what Nikhil has been doing down the stretch. I don't think Nikhil really got many touches down the stretch when Jalen and Trey were on the floor, which is understandable, but
he got the last shot.
Oh, with Knicks, yeah, he did. With Knicks, he did. Yeah, with the Knicks, he did. He did with the Knicks. But like, I don't know. Oh no, am I still here? No, I'm still here.
Yeah, you still here.
Yeah, but yeah, I still think they're working things out for sure. But I don't know. You can't be working on it the entire season. You feel me? Like you're gonna be in more close games throughout the season. You can't still just be working on it. So I think it'll get better for sure, but it's obvious like they're still trying to work out the kinks and stuff like that on who needs to take the game, who needs to take over the game at the end of at the end when it gets tight.
I think late game execution offensively for the Hawks looked like a mess when Trey was out.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally like just Jalen driving and then, him going at the rim, double pump, and then either he gets a call or he makes an incredibly difficult shot at the rim and he goes to the line. And that's kind of how they were closing games that they closed. In the games that they didn't win, it was literally just like either he missed the layup and wanted a call or he kicked it out to Nikhil and Nikhil missed the shot like he did against the Knicks when Trey was back. So I don't think those two are enough to close games on enough consistent basis as dependable as Trey Young looked. Trey, I think one thing that people weren't really talking about when he came back was at the end of the game, he wasn't playing Trey ball anymore, where it was literally just him. He was still giving up the ball and passing the ball to open teammates and better shots down the stretch. Like I said, Nikhil Alexander-Walker got the last shot. The possession before that, the turnover to Jalen, he was trying to get the ball to Jalen Johnson when he saw he didn't have anything. I think the only thing that was weird about that play was that Trey ran up to Jalen asking for the ball before he got it back to him. I think maybe on that play, if Jalen has the momentum going downhill, you just kind of let Jalen do that. And then if he misses the shot and gets a rebound and kicks it back out to you, you can kind of go from there and it's your turn. But I mean, of course, everything is 2020 hindsight, Monday morning quarterback. But I think that Trey is trying to be more just selfless, especially at the end of games ever since he's come back. So he's trying to find a balance. He's like as you said, as you pretty much just said what the team is saying. And but I don't think it's like a thing of like Trey is coming back. All right, it's time. Y'all know what to do. Get in the corner. Like the name that everybody's giving him right now on social media. It's not that. So I don't know, man. It's a tricky situation. It's unfortunate timing that the Hawks started to slide with their defensive problems that they've had all season. It turned into losses. It's unfortunate that happened when Trey got back to make it look bad on Trey. But I don't know. I think it's just interesting to see what will happen. Like I said, what we said a couple episodes ago, I think this entire season is dependent on will Well, Jalen, Trey, and Kristaps have a month together. If they can play a full month together before the play-in, then that's a completely different Hawks team than what's going to be about the Hawks if they never play together for a month.
Bro, before the play-in is crazy. Before the play-in.
It is what it is, bro. Like, hey, we even don't need to like say the playoffs, bro. The play-in, bro.
They've only, I think Wes and Brad tweeted yesterday that Trey, KP, and Jalen have only played like 40, 43 minutes together.
I saw that tweet, yeah.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I think Jalen and Kristaps have a very, very good connection together. And you kind of saw it against the Timberwolves last game. But you don't really know what you're going to get from like the trio of Trey, Jalen, and Kristaps. Because I think even when they were on the floor together, folks was talking about how bad defensively they are together as a trio or something like that. However many minutes they played, which is now a very small sample size. But it makes sense because like Jalen wasn't really playing, I guess, defense back then. And Trey, of course, his deficiencies and things like that. But offensively, it's crazy. It could really be good, but time will only tell because they were even when they were losing earlier in the season, they were like, what, 1-3 or something like that. They were like, yeah, we barely play with each other in the preseason. So this is kind of the result of what happens when you don't have reps in the preseason. Now, then Trey goes out like a week after that, and then Kristaps is on and off, and it's strictly just Jalen. And it's like, okay, well, once everybody gets back, what is this going to look like? Is it going to look like how it looked when they were 1-3? Is it going to look like when they were 13-9 without Trey? Is it going to look like this 7-game losing streak when Kristaps was out, but Jalen and Trey were back? Like, what team are you going to get when all three of them are together?
Yeah, no, that's something. I was also looking at this picture like Kristaps has like a regular fade, and now he has that mohawk, and I'm like, why did he do that? Like, he just randomly did that in the middle of the season. Like, I'm gonna go mohawk. Yeah, that was just thinking.
He went no cut. He must have went no cut for like the past 2 weeks. Cause I was
and then came back just full on mohawk, like no fade in, just a. All right, I feel it, brother. But yeah, I mean, we just don't know. Like, and that's the problem. Like you knew, okay, getting Kristaps, he was gonna be out a lot. You know, Jalen is historically out a lot. It turned out so far, first half of the season, that that Jalen's been actually available relatively, and Trey's been out more, and Kristaps, as expected, has been out. So I think my biggest concern with the Hawks was like, okay, even if everybody patches band-aids up and stuff like that postseason time, you guys didn't play enough to play to your full ability when it matters in the postseason. And I think that is still the issue here. Do you still want Anthony Davis?
Every time Kristaps plays, which is not very often, I guess, this season, he changes my mind about wanting to trade for AD because dude just came off the bench yesterday and kind of just like was seamless. Like, dude pulled up from 30, like he's a mismatch in the paint. He shoots over people. But at the same time, I still wouldn't want to do that because if we being honest, KP and AD didn't play the same amount of games this season. Dang, they're close to. They're both injury, like they both have injuries and things like that. But in a trade, you're going to have to give up more than just Kristaps. You're going to have to give up maybe Luke. They talking about Zach. I would not trade Zach. I would not put Zach in that trade. As much as he maybe has struggled or has not looked like the player that he looked like last last year, I do not think that it would be a good trade at all. So I get AD is like, well, he was once like a top 5, top 10 player, whatever like that. But over the past few years, I mean, he's gotten older, more injuries and things like that. I just don't think that it would be beneficial for the Hawks to make a trade, especially in the middle of the season where we kind of just talked about. There's a lot of uncertainty with how this team can mesh when they're fully healthy. So bringing in somebody like AD, you're still going to have to figure out, okay, does he mesh with this team? Will things work on offense? Of course, the Hawks have given up so many points on defense. He's going to help the defense. But offensively, how does he fit in? I think coming into the season and when they acquired KP and everything like that, everybody knew that this would be a good fit because when you come talking about the pick and roll with Trey, somebody's going to have to overcommit on defense, which means either Trey's going to be open, Kristaps is going to be open, or somebody in the corner, somebody's going to be open at the end of the day because somebody's going to have to overcompensate on defense. So you bring that in, you bring in a guy that's probably one of the better shooting bigs in the league. I think maybe him and Carl right now are like top 2 as far as shooting bigs in the league. You bring in one of those guys next to a guy like Trey, and I don't see how you can't guard that. You feel me? So AD can shoot, but AD is not a shooter like KP is. So at the end of the day, I don't think that the Hawks should make that trade, and more specifically because it feels like they would have to add Zach, because the Mavericks are probably going to ask for Zach. And my thing with Zach is this season, he has taken a dip this season as far as his production and his shooting numbers and things like that. I think he averaged maybe 12 last season. I think he's averaging like 9 or 10 this season. But, and this is what I always get into with Coach, because it's like he's only playing like 20, 23 minutes. He doesn't play down the stretch of games. But the only way he's going to get better is if he plays. That's with anything in life, honestly. Like, you need reps to get better at anything. So when you go back to the Oklahoma City Thunder game and he got this big block and the Hawks were only down 3 or 4 at the point, you take him out the game and you put Luke Kennard in, when in hindsight, really you needed defense in that moment. But you put in, of course, Luke had been shooting pretty fairly well that game. It's understandable. But you needed defense too, because the Thunder are really, really good on offense and they know how to close out games. So I think in that situation, you should have played him. And I think that's kind of been the situation for Zach this entire season. He gets taken out like 6 minutes, 5 minutes left in the game when the games get tight and things like that. And you kind of really need him to get those reps. And he wasn't getting those reps last year either. So I don't think you should give up on Zach so quick. It's just his second year. He's only 20 years old. He has a lot to learn. And if he's able to kind of grow into who he was last year and maybe have the ball more in his hands, which is hard to even think about now because Jalen is back on the – like when Jalen was hurt last season, Zach got more of an opportunity to have the ball, shooting things like that. Now Jalen's here and Jalen has taken this all-star leap. That's definitely going to take opportunities away from Zach. Then you got Trey on the floor. It's going to take opportunities away. You have players like Kristaps, Onyeka, Nikhil now. Like, his opportunities are not going to be the same that they were last year with the circumstances that they were playing with. But at the end of the day, he still offers length on defense. He still offers size. He may not be shooting as well as he was last year, but he can still shoot. He can still create opportunities for other players. You just got to give him the chance. And that's why I would not give him up for AD. Like, AD You bring in AD, you're gonna have to trade. You're gonna have to sign him maybe to an extension, and you for a team that doesn't notably want to be in the tax. Are they really gonna re-sign him? Like he's gonna want buku money. So at the end of the day, I don't think the AD thing is the move. Is Anthony Davis the only person that you would trade KP for? Is there someone else or another package player that you would trade him for? I honestly I feel like the only way you get AD is if you trade Kristaps because of the money. And then but at the same time, AD still is making like 12 more million on top of that. So you're gonna have to add in another player. So that's why it's either gonna have to be Luke, it's gonna have to be either KP. But if I'm trying to trade Kristaps, there are some other players. Maybe I can't think right now. Maybe if the Clippers have been playing well recently though, so the Zubac, I've seen the Zubac trade out there, like Zubac and Derrick Jones Jr. for KP. But the way that the Clippers are like I don't know if they're on a winning streak right now, but they've won a few games like this past week or two. So they're probably not even going to even consider making a big trade at this point because they probably feel like, oh, we can get to play it now. But if they were still losing, a Zubac, Derrick Jones Jr., KP trade, something like that would kind of work. But at the end of the day, some of these teams still want to win, and Kristaps is kind of questionable when it comes to being on the floor. Like, yes, he played good yesterday and he looked good, but in all honesty, we don't know. We won't know until 5 o'clock today if Kristaps is playing or not. Until that hit, that he looked fine. He didn't look like he was hurt or anything. But with the illness that he has, you just don't know if he's going to be available. And the Hawks have a back-to-back, I think. So they play New York tomorrow, and they play Toronto the next day, if I'm not mistaken. He's not going to play I don't think he's going to play either one of those games. Like, he's either going to sit in New York and play in Toronto, or I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play either game. Like, it's just like at that point, we really don't know with his health or what's going on with this illness. So, and teams know that. So it's kind of hard to even trade for somebody like that where you just don't know if they're going to be available one day or the other. So it'll be hard regardless. But if the Mavericks with a team like the Mavericks that have not really been winning that much, and they've won a little bit over this past week or so, but I don't think they're going to get any better. You can take a team like them and they're like, okay, well, we can reset. We got Kristaps' expiring contract. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Like, we don't really have much to play for this season anyway. Let's develop Cooper. Let's continue to develop Cooper and let him run the show and things like that. And we're getting Kyrie Irving back so he could be a help to him. Like, that's really what it is at the end of the day. So, I don't know. If I were the Hawks, I wouldn't make any substantial move at the trade deadline. I'd do everything after the season. I think after the season, you get a lot more clarity and you kind of understand if this player fits or not. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, it's definitely be something to look at right now. What's going on? I think it was funny because it was like the way that they were shopping Anthony Davis reportedly in the rumor market. You would think he's an expiring deal, but he's not. He has like 3 years left. You know, this year, next year, and then the year after that, there's a player option. So I don't understand why they're shopping him so aggressively right now. It must be something like they genuinely just want to kind of let go of anything that reminds people that they traded Luka. I don't really get it. That's the only way I could think of, because I mean, other than that, why wouldn't you want like Cooper to play next to AD and Kyrie Irving his first couple of years and kind of learn from those guys and stuff like that? So it's just it is what it is. I don't know. I thought that was something different that they're pursuing so aggressively. For the Hawks, it makes sense. because I think Chris, like you said, Kristaps is expiring, so you kind of get some value out of an expiring deal instead of letting Kristaps walk for free in the summer. That makes sense. And then I think if I'm the Hawks, I think I would be open to trading Ricochet, including Ricochet in an AD deal, but I wouldn't include Newell because Asa is someone who he plays a position that you kind of need and stuff like that. Like you need front court help. Like you've been thin in the front court all season long. Like you don't play Mo Gay, and Asa has looked pretty promising so far as a rookie. So I don't think you give up on someone like that this early for someone aging and on the other side of his prime like AD, who won't be available. He'll be available as much as Porzingis is, and at the end of the day, it comes down to if Porzingis and AD play the same amount of games, who would you rather have for 20 games? I'd rather have Anthony Davis and Kristaps Porzingis. So I think that's why you do the deal if you're the Hawks. And then Dallas, if they want to go younger, they get a younger piece in Arisha Shea or Asa Newell. Like I said, I don't think the Hawks should include Newell in it, but if you got Newell or Arisha Shea, you get a nice young piece to continue to build with that core with Cooper Flag, and you kind of go from there. So yeah, the deal doesn't make much sense to me, but AD is also being linked to the Warriors. I don't know if you brought that up, but the whole Kuminga situation. I went on a rant with Dan about this last night. That is, Kuminga has been in those trade rumors for the last 3-4 seasons, and he's gone nowhere. Like Golden State, they need to trade him if they're going to trade him. So that's a whole nother thing that you have to watch out for if you're the Hawks. If Golden State's just going to end up getting him because you were thinking about Al Horford over the offseason. You kind of were linked to him in a reunion to end his career, but he ends up going to Golden State. So is this another player that the Hawks were reportedly looking at that Golden State just ends up swooping in and stuff? So that's a whole nother interesting thing. I think if I'm the Hawks in terms of just moves, period, I don't know, because it's like I don't think Trey really fits anybody's plans right now. So, I mean, it's not like you can just trade Trey and then get a bunch of like equitable assets and everything like that. Like, because what are you going to do? OKC has the draft picks for Trey, but they have SGA. like that's kind of pointless. So there's no one really out there. Like the Kings, I don't know if they have the draft capital like needed to make a deal done for Trey to kind of make up for trading De'Aaron Fox a year ago. I don't know, man. I think it'll be very, very interesting to see how this entire thing plays out. I think at the end of the day, Trey ends up staying in Atlanta. They don't trade him because they didn't plan on trading him. They wait till the offseason, to the summer, to go back to the negotiation table and negotiate a deal for Trey. Obviously, the Hawks don't want to give him the max, or they would have given him one over the summer. And so far, Trey hasn't proved to earn the max so far, but you really earn your money in the postseason. If these guys, once again, comes down to health again, it's like a big circle of saying the same things. If Porzingis and Jalen and Trey are all healthy at the same time for the last month of the season, March, April, going into the play-in, they get out of the play-in and they win the first round and they're competitive in the second round and looking like they could have made the Eastern Conference Finals, or because right now it looks like they can beat everybody except for the Knicks and OKC. The Knicks so far, I just don't know if that's the best matchup for them. Maybe when Porzingis is back, that's a better matchup for him. But right now, it just doesn't look like a good matchup for him.
Can't beat the Pistons either.
You said who? The Pistons? Oh yeah, the Pistons. But at least the Pistons, they took to like the last shot one game, with just Jalen and the kill. And the Hawks, they took the Knicks to the last shot with Trey, nor Porzingis. So even those teams, like they taken to the brink, but I don't know, man. Like if you go to the second round with the Pistons, with the Knicks, and you make it a competitive series, or you somehow get back to the Eastern Conference Finals, I think Trey has his leverage that he was looking to get last summer, and he can get closer to that max money that he wants, and then everything's normal. Porzingis signs, once again, Porzingis ain't gonna get the money that he wants. That it was like 3 years, 90 mil. He was kind of looking for or something like that. He ain't gonna get that, but he might be able to get something, kind of, I guess, closer to what he wants as opposed to just like a bargain. So I mean, the Hawks have a lot of kind of things to address in the summer, but I don't know if you're so hot pressed to trade Porzingis right now because it's like, why did you trade for him in the first place? If you knew he wasn't going to play that many games, he's not playing that many games, and now you're like, you're not playing as many games as we thought we would, so we're just going to move you before you walk for free in the summer. So I don't know. I think the Hawks stick it out unless a team comes with like if the Giannis thing comes across, like once again, I'm trading Jalen Johnson for Giannis. Me personally, I know you against that, but like I'm trading Jalen Johnson for Giannis. So unless a deal like that comes across the table, I think the Hawks should just kind of sit on their hands and keep it going. You're giving a lot of what ifs. It's just the case. It's like the reality of the situation is literally the reality of the situation right now for the Hawks.
Yeah, bro. What did you say yesterday? You said you trade Jalen for Giannis, but you wouldn't trade Asa for AD.
Yeah. Look at this though. It's like Giannis MVP level. Jalen is all-star level. I'm going to trade, and Giannis is a two-way player. He plays defense. He defensive player of the year type of guy. So is AD. So yeah, I would trade Giannis for Jalen because I'm gonna get more out of Giannis than I would Jalen as of right now at this very moment. For AD, I'm getting as much from AD as I'm getting from Porzingis right now. Asa is gonna grow up into a John Collins, you know what I'm saying? Decent role player, decent rotational guy, consistent starter on a playoff team. That's Asa. That's what it's looking like Asa is gonna be. He might even end up being Chris Bosh. If he's in Chris Bosh, that's best case scenario. I don't think you give up on a guy like that as a rookie for a guy who's not going to be available as much as someone that you already have on the roster. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more so what you're getting back. Like if it was Asa Newell for Giannis, yeah, I'm doing it. But if it's Asa Newell for AD, no, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, nah, I can't do the Giannis thing. I can't do the Giannis thing. I can't. I at the beginning of the season, I probably would have. But like I said, just the way Jalen playing right now, it's hard. It's just hard for me to do it. It's hard for me to do it. And you still don't know if the Hawks gonna keep Trey or not. So that's even more like, all right, you would want Giannis to play with Trey, and you would hope that Trey stays, but it's still uncertainty around that. Like, if Trey was locked in for like 4 more years or he signed his extension this offseason, during the offseason, I'd be like, all right, but it could really seriously be it could have been a scenario where you trade Jalen, you get Giannis, and like Trey's like, I'm out.
But Giannis is doing the whole thing of like, I want to go to New York. I want to go to New York in front of his agent. And then they ask him directly about it. And he says, that's disrespectful to discuss. Like, bro, just answer the question. Like, did you or did you not request a trade? Like, this is the biggest story right now in the NBA, and you aren't answering the question. You can literally put it to rest if you just answer the question straight on.
That's true.
Him dodging the question just confirms everything that's being reported is true. He wants to go to the Knicks, and he requested a trade.
Yeah, no, he keeps. I feel like he's doing that so he can save face, but we get it, bro. Like, you're frustrated. Like, if you want to go to another team, it's understandable. Like, the team that you are on has ran its course. Just be like, just be like Dame or something. Like, Dame still.
Dame and Westbrook.
Yes, literally.
Like when Westbrook left OKC, no one booed him.
Nobody.
Like, it was literally like, bro, we get it, bro. Like, you've been here, dang 10 years. You giving it all you had. You really tried, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, it's that simple. Like, you don't have to go on this. Well, LeBron did when he first left Cleveland and go on a whole show and do this and that. Like, bro, literally, all you got to say is, this team does not align with my goals of winning the championship no more. I feel like I have a better chance of winning somewhere else. I would like to request a trade. Nobody in Milwaukee is going to be mad at you because everybody in Milwaukee knows as soon as they waved and stretched Dame and brought in Miles Turner, everybody in Milwaukee probably knew, okay, this is it. This is wraps. Like, Miles Turner not bringing us a championship. Okay, we get it. Like, bro, just request a trade. It's all right. Like, nobody's going to be mad at you.
And then the thing with who was I thinking about? We were talking about Dame and all those guys and stuff. Okay. Oh, I really guess just like this season with the Hawks, because Charles said we're giving a lot. I'm giving a lot of what ifs. As currently constructed right now, the Hawks are going to the play-in, and they will lose in the play-in to the Chicago Bulls. That is what's going on right now. Didn't Joker's face once again. If they face the Miami Heat in the play-in, I think they avenged last season's loss in the play-in and they beat the Miami Heat and they go to the playoffs. And the playoffs, as they're currently constructed, they will lose in the first round of the playoffs to the 1 or 2 seed, and that's where the Hawks are right now.
And it's even worse to think because coming into the season, the expectation around this team was not playing. So even if you make the play-in and you win in the play-in, it's still an L to me. Like,
well, that's why they talking about trades.
But I get that, but I still would not. I wouldn't push the button on anything crazy before the deadline. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't. It's still a lot of season left. And if we talking as of right now, there's still a lot of season left. They're 3-2 games behind 500. Anything could happen. I'm not saying that they finna go on this crazy streak like the 2015 team and don't lose a game in January. I'm not saying they're going to do that. But they could make up some ground with where they are right now. It's not like the East is crazy good.
They're currently 5 games out of...
Cleveland is in the play-in right now. Who would have thought that?
Yeah. They're currently 5 games out of the 6th seed. So, all right, Malik. Go ahead.
I'm saying I don't trust many of them. I don't trust many of them teams above them. Like, they could make a run, but they also... I said this yesterday to somebody. I was like, oh, it was Terrence. I was talking to Terry, and I was like, this past week, there were a lot of winnable games this past week or so, and they didn't win them. And there's some winnable games next. January is going to be tough for them, but they could win some games, and I wouldn't be surprised. They could lose some games. I'm not surprised. This is Atlanta sports in general. This is Atlanta sports. That's really what it is at the end of the day. Because the Falcons are doing the same thing right now. So I'm not surprised.
No, exactly. I mean, you put it perfectly if you could put it in words. And I think that's just what it is right now. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah. I mean, I'm surprised to see Boston jumped up that far after getting off to a slow start this season. So I guess Boston is back. But I don't trust them. I don't trust the Raptors. And but we'll see what happens. Okay, speaking of the Raptors, like you said, the Knicks on Friday, Raptors on Saturday, Raptors again on Monday, and then the Pelicans on Wednesday. For the next week, what do you have the Hawks doing? Geez, this is a tough slate.
Bro, it don't get any better. Wait, I'm starting at Knicks and I'm ending Pelicans, or I'm ending Nuggets.
Yes, Pelicans.
All right. I think. I'm gonna go 2-2. So I'm gonna go Knicks L, Raptors. I think they'll win the. I think they drop the next two and they win the next two. That's how I go.
Yeah, I think they split Raptors. They lose against the Knicks and they beat the Pelicans. That's what I have too. So we both have 2-2. We'll see what they do. Malik, as always, appreciate another episode. Let the people know where they can find you.
As always, y'all, _Malik ATL, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just type in Malik GSU. You'll find it.
All right, man. We appreciate y'all for joining us again. I'm sorry, a shorter episode of Birds and Buckets, but we will be back next week. We'll see y'all until next time. Take care of yourselves and enjoy the basketball. Peace.
And if they come out clean.